everyone, so today I'm going to be talking to you about monthly and weekly guinea pig costs. So bear in mind I'm going to tell you around on average what I spend on a weekly and on a monthly basis on 8 guinea pigs, and I do a lot of savings with them. I actually have a video on how to save money with guinea pigs, so I managed to save money in different areas that I'll explain to you about. So depending on how many guinea pigs you've got, how you go about getting your veg, hay and so on, your prices are either going to be slightly higher or slightly lower, and it's especially going to be definitely a lot lower if you've got 2 guinea pigs compared to 8 guinea pigs. So obviously it's going to be different for certain parts of your guinea pig owning. At the very beginning you're going to be probably spending a lot more because you'll be getting all the different things for them, hideys, toys, things like that, and building up a first aid kit, setting up your accommodation, so it's going to cost you much more then. I'm just talking about an average week of a guinea pig owner and tell you what I spend on the necessities and everything like that. So let's start off with the monthly costs and then I'll break it down to a weekly cost for you. So obviously one of the most important things to be purchasing for your guinea pigs is some decent hay. I purchase a bale of hay for my 8 guinea pigs, and on average it probably lasts me just over a month, and it's probably a little bit more than that, but for the sake of this video I'm going to say that it lasts me a month. I do like to make sure their hay is always topped up with loads of hay. So the hay bales cost me £5, so on a monthly average I spend £5 on a bale of hay. Next we obviously have guinea pig pellets. I feed my guinea pigs the Pets at Home guinea pig nuggets. I've been feeding them this for a few years now and I'm really happy with it. And on average I probably get a bag every 2 weeks for them, and this is on average. Sometimes it lasts me a little bit more, but again for the sake of the video we'll say we get it every 2 weeks, and these bags cost around £4.75, so let's say £5 every 2 weeks. So pellets will be costing me £10 for a whole month worth of pellets. The next thing I spend on is bedding. Of course I don't use fleece or anything, so I purchase bedding, and depending on what bedding I use I kind of alternate between different ones. On average I probably use Easy Bed, but I've been experimenting with things like Megazorb, so it kind of depends on which bedding I'm going for, but I usually need a bag a month. It probably lasts me around a month. I only do a thorough cage clean once a week, and due to the size of the cages it means that I don't have to thoroughly clean them as much because they stay much cleaner for much longer. So I probably buy a bag every month, and the bag costs me between £6 or £7 depending on the type of bedding. And of course another necessity is veg. Again, I try and save money with veg. I'm quite lucky where my family, my neighbours will give me veg that they aren't using anymore or that are going out of date soon, so I do save a lot of money there. But I do also purchase my own veg. I also tend to go for cheaper veg, so again veg that's going out of date soon. And a lot of the supermarkets in the UK now are doing these amazing little packages called wonky veg, which are brilliant. And you basically, because wonky veg are for some reason much cheaper because they're not perfect like the veg you see usually, they're selling all these wonky bits of veg that obviously taste exactly the same for a much cheaper price. So things like that I tend to go for, rather than, it's very rare I get a fresh brand new load of veg that's got weeks of dates on it, because I tend to go for things that are a little bit cheaper, that where the dates are running out in a few days, because I tend to use them quite quickly. So on average I spend around £5 a week on veg. Some things I do get fresh that they have quite a lot, so like bell peppers and things, but on average it's probably about £5 a week, so £20 a month on veg. So those are all the kind of necessities that I buy, and technically I could probably save a lot of money by just getting those items every week. So just based on hay, bedding, pellets and veg, I spend around £42 a month on 8 guinea pigs on those 4 items, so that's around £10.50 a week. Now, like I say, I could be saving so much money by just keeping to the necessities, but of course I like to spend on my guinea pigs, and It really does depend. Some months I'm very good and I don't spend on them, and I do a lot of DIY things, so technically I don't need to spend an awful lot on them, but just for the sake of this, let's just say I spend around £10 to £20 a month just on little bits and bobs for them. So that can include top-ups of the first aid kit, toys, new hidey houses, fleece items, any bits and bobs like that, things that, even like the CCTV camera in the shed, just little bits and bobs that I get for the guinea pigs or for the guinea pig shed. So let's just say around £20 a month, so that's already bringing it up to £62 a month. But there's also something else that I would recommend doing on a monthly basis, and that's keeping money aside for emergency vet bills. Now, I always like to keep around £40 saved somewhere safe so that I do have that for vets bills. I'm quite a saver, so I have lots of different areas for saving, but I do like to keep at least £40 somewhere safe, like in a piggy bank or something, ready for vet bills, because it can happen so suddenly and you need that money straight away. I wouldn't recommend getting a guinea pig as a pet unless you can put money aside for vet bills, but it's really easy to do. Just keep a little piggy bank, fill it up as often as you can, and before you know it, you'll have some savings there. And it's always better to have more than you need, because then if you need to use it, you've still got some left over and could potentially use that again. So that is something I do recommend doing. So let's now total that up. So we've got pellets, hay, bedding, veg, £20 of spending, and £40 saving of vet funds. So then, including all of those things that I've just spoken about, it would total it up to £102 a month. Now, of course, if I didn't use the vet money, then I wouldn't have that high amount. If I didn't spend on things like toys and so on, then I wouldn't be up to that amount. But on average, let's just say that's what I would be spending if I did use it on those extra couple of things on a monthly basis. Now, if that complete total was down to a weekly basis, it would be up to £25.50, which isn't bad at all, really, and especially considering there's 8 guinea pigs that I'm talking about and it's not just 2. But that would be around the monthly costs of my guinea pigs, so around £25.50 for a week, or £10.50 if I didn't have the extra little bits and bobs. So like I say, it really does depend on how many guinea pigs you have, how much of a saver you are, and how well you can do with saving with certain items like veg, for example. If you are interested in looking into saving money with guinea pigs, then you can check out my video, Saving Money with Guinea Pigs. I'll have that linked in the description box in case anybody's interested. But that's around my monthly, weekly costs of 8 guinea pigs, and this has been requested so often, so I really do hope it's helped you all out. But if it has, then give me a big old thumbs up. Comment down below, maybe comment down below and let me know what your weekly/monthly costs are, because I'm sure it would help lots of other viewers who aren't just interested in someone with 8 guinea pigs. If you've got 2 guinea pigs or less, or more than 8 guinea pigs, then it would definitely help if you also put down your monthly and weekly costs. It would even be interesting to me, to be honest. I'd quite like to know how you go about saving and doing different things. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye everyone.